yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Jive. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight. Welcome to Eagles Talk. Pre-game, we're previewing the NFC Championship game, which our Eagles are taking on the Washington Commanders. And it's the matchup that I was looking for, what I wanted, because I wanted to exact some revenge on the Commanders for the last time we met them. They're really feeling themselves, and they should. They just knocked off the number one seed in the playoffs, so I get it. But you know, you got to get the smackdown. I'm sorry, we got to give them the smackdown. And I've just been hearing. Not only did I have to hear it after they beat us, during that comeback during the regular season.
Oh man!
And with we didn't have our quarterback, but that's okay because they put him out, so I give them that. But now that they are facing us, I am hearing so much yapping and wow, I'm just like, all right, well, let's wait till Sunday, we'll see. But I'm just excited that we're in the NFC Championship game, and I can't wait until Sunday, man. I can't wait until our team gets on the field and start exacting some revenge and some punishment on an NFC East foe. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. That's what I see it as. And, we're bullies, man. So I think that we're just going to come through and do what we have to do. But without further ado, I got my man here, Pat. Pat, what's going on, bro?
What up, Dark Knight? Yo, man, I'm listen, my heart attack is gone. I'm a young man having a heart attack. What is that about? But I'm very excited for this game. As I go back and look back at the game against the Rams, it was a sloppy game, but if you look at the concepts that were thrown out there, it was something to be happy about what this team can do when they're hitting on all cylinders. And man, shout out to our offensive line. Shout out to Jalen freaking Carter, man. The next Reggie White of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man,
that's
really high praise, yo.
He is a monster, Dark Knight. Yo, he is a monster. And it's crazy because he set up the center and the lineman perfectly in those last two plays. He set him up perfectly because he was getting a double team majority of the game. But before I go into that, man.
What? Oh, okay. All right. It's time to drink. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So you're watching Eagles Talk. I forgot. How silly of me. You're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that is by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC Championship game headed Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So, I don't drink anymore, so I just have this water. But my man Pat is going to hold it down for the culture, and he's doing the Woodford Reserve as he has always been doing this entire year, and it's we fare well as he's drinking. So continue to do so. Everybody out there, let me know what you're going to do, and let us kick this first quarter off by saluting our Philadelphia Eagles. So, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, I mistakenly shared this to a Commanders Eagles group, so I don't know if they're going to tune in or if they're going to boot it out, but I didn't do it on purpose. But anyway, getting back, when I hit it, I was like, oh, dang, I didn't mean to share it there. But anyway, so, I can't wait until Sunday. A lot of people talking smack and all that, but, I'm sorry. You're right. Let me go back, rewind a little bit, because I got a chance to watch Sunday's game also, because you heard about my ordeal on Sunday. I didn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't without interruptions that I watched some of the game on Sunday with my car troubles and all that. So I got a chance. I woke up really early in the morning, about 3:30 in the morning, to watch the game, and I enjoyed what I saw. Man, I could see, like, I only had to experience maybe 5 to 10 minutes of that heart racing game, but I will tell you, laying in the bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, watch this game, and I knew the outcome. I still was on the edge of my seat. I was watching a replay that I knew the outcome of, and I was still on the edge of my seat watching this game. So I could just imagine. Now I really feel what you guys were talking about in post game when you were like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I had 5 heart attacks." And all. Yes, I get it now because I knew the outcome. And I was like, "Oh my God, what are they going to do now? Oh my goodness, a safety thing! Oh my goodness." So I could just imagine what you guys were experiencing watching it live on Sunday. But I'm so happy that, we pulled it out. And what I did learn from watching that game, man, is like we have been displaying all year long. This is a very physical and tough team.
Mhm.
Our defense, hats off always. If you start to talk about this team and the first thing out of your mouth is not the defense, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I don't know what team you're
definitely.
watching. If the first thing out of your mouth when you mention this team is not the defense, I don't know what game you're watching.
Yeah, I totally agree with you with that because I mean, the start of the game, they did everything we wanted the offense to do. They put together a nice sustainable drive and ended it with a touchdown, or a 44-yard touchdown by your quarterback, which the play itself was a well drawn up play. Um, but for the defense to step up the way they did, and they have been stepping up all season a bit the first a few games against the Falcons, and even the first game against the Packers and against the Buccaneers. After those games, this team has stepped up tremendously, and has been the backbone, along with Saquon Barkley in the running game of this team. Shout out to CJ Gardner Johnson. Shout out to Zach Bond. Shout out to Jalen Carter. Shout out to the rookie, Jalen Hunt. Like these guys are getting after the quarterback. Yes, the Rams had 7 sacks, but Dark Knight, we had 5 sacks.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, we did get busy, and yeah, Jalen Carter is a monster, and this high praise when you compare him to one of the Eagles' all-time greats. Shoot, one of the NFL all-time greats. When you
Yes.
compare him to Reggie White, I'll start off a little slower than that. I'll let him work his way up to that. But all right, and this is pretty lofty too, because I'm going to compare him to his running mate last year, Fletcher Cox. This guy, Fletcher Cox, it's very reminiscent or similar to the year that Fletcher Cox had when we won our first Super Bowl. Right? If you
Mhm.
don't, if you remember that year, defense was pretty good. Fletcher Cox had an outstanding year with the havoc that he wrecked along that interior defensive line. And you know better than I, Pat, that the defensive tackles stat lines don't always tell the
Correct.
story of what they did in the game,
Hmm.
but they wreck when they wreck havoc. They really change the game when they're in there demanding being double teamed, and they allow their running mates to have single man blocking coverage. You know what I'm saying? That is
Hmm.
tremendous. And Jalen Carter does that. He's a run stopper. He's a sack specialist. He does everything. And his stat line actually on Sunday reflected how dominant he was.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 sacks. He had a whole bunch of hurries, total tackles. Listen. The thing about Jalen Carter is he has the Aaron Donald take over the game ability. I had a stat line I'll pull it up in a minute, but this talking about his ability when he was drafted, all right, last year, he was literally the best person in that draft. Yes, I get it. There were some other guys who were pretty good, but Jalen Carter was the best player in that draft. He didn't win rookie of the year because sometimes some stats you can't quantify, and that's what they look for those when they goes get those trophies out. This man single handedly dominated that game and changed the whole outcome in that last drive. That's Aaron Donald-ish.
Yeah,
I might not could compare him to Reggie White, but that's Aaron Donald-ish.
yeah, it definitely is. Um, I'll just take a break just a second to bring in our third co-host. And in case you guys are new to Eagles Talk, our third co-hosts are you guys that are in the chat room because we include you guys in the conversation. So the first person is in the room is my man JT, longtime loyal fan,
What up,
travels
JT?
well. JT, we're going to be in Miller's. We're going to be at Miller's on Sunday if you are up to coming up and watching the NFC Championship game with us. But we're coming live from Miller's Ale House in Springfield, PA, Baltimore Pike for the NFC Championship game. And we have a very good record at Miller's in NFC Championship games. We've been there, when we won the Super Bowl. We were there for that NFC Championship game. We were
Yes, we
there in
was.
22. When we went to that Super Bowl, we were there for the NFC Championship game. So we're looking for the same success this Sunday. So if anybody's in the area, want to come watch the game with us, I'm telling you, we have a great time, and you're welcome to come. So second person in the room is Miss Sandlin herself. She says, "Yerp, Mizzou the Mad Sticky Glue. What's up, Sticky Glue?" He says, "Jack." And this is Jack. This is not a woman. This is Jack. Jack is in the house ready for the NFC Championship. Go Birds, revenge. Yes, yes. Go Birds and get revenge. Tina Holden says, hey, watching from Facebook. Richard Layton is in the house. He says, "What's up, Eagles fam?
What
What's
up?
up?" And John D. Batiste, our resident from South Kakalaka, is checking in. What's up, Eagles Talk family? Let's hunt. Yes, let's hunt.
I
So
love that slogan. I
I
love
love
that
that
slogan.
slogan. I do.
It's resonating as we're not the hungry dogs. We got that. We got that out the way. This slogan it feels like we're being counted out, right? So all right, we're gonna be counted out. We're hunting everybody that you say is better than us. Let's do it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And again, I can't help but bring up what a different seat we sit in just a year uh, from a year later. Let's put it
Hmm.
that way. A year later, what a change in the fate of the Philadelphia Eagles. Last we saw our team ending last year, they were being bounced out of the playoffs, um, and it was demoralizing to see them lose the way that they lost. The playoffs teams that I saw last year, looking at them and then looking at our Philadelphia Eagles, it was quite evident that our Philadelphia Eagles didn't belong there. They didn't belong on
Hmm.
the stage with those playoff teams last year. You could see the way the team unraveled at the end. They were as soft as tissue paper. They were so confused, and it was just embarrassing. And when I looked at the caliber of the other playoff teams, it was quite evident. Like
Yeah.
I was like, man, our team does not belong here. These guys are ready for gladiator season, and our team doesn't look anything like that. But you fast forward to this year, this team looks ready, not only for gladiator season, but to hoist the Lombardi at the end of it. But before we get there, we got to take care of some business on Sunday. But this team is so much more physical than last year. They find and use any way by any means necessary to
Hmm.
win a game, and they can win it in multiple ways. I love the mental fortitude of this team, the physicality of this team. This team is bullies, and I think that represents the city of Philadelphia very well.
It does. It represents the spirit and the tenacity, the lingo of our city. Like, listen, man, we are something else. Just like our mayor said, sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't get it right. And she went out and spelled Eagles with an L.
Oh yeah. Oh my
um,
God, I'm hearing that too. Oh my goodness.
um, but it is crazy to see this team transformation from last year of what you just said. Like they did not look nothing close to a playoff team. How the collapse at the end of the year, losing the teams we should have lost to. It was something definitely wrong in our locker room. Something wrong with what was going with the players this year. It's nothing but love in that locker room. It's nothing but players playing for each other. They rooting for each other. They're rooting for each other. They have each other's back, and you love to see that as a fan base, as a fan, and as a city. We needed this.
Yes, we did, man. We needed this, and what a performance on Sunday against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
What a performance. Key performances. Now, what I will ask that they improve on is on the offensive side of the ball, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Saquon is Saquon. Jalen with the big run also, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see a more methodical offense. I would like to see them work the ball down, matriculate the ball down the field on some sustained drives. That is when I think we're at our most successful and at the strength of what we can do, right? When we're putting together 10, 12 play drives that's taking up 7 minutes, that's a formula for us to win, right? And
It
we
is.
can do that. So, and I think that the key lies in Kellen Moore,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's got to call a more balanced game. That game on Sunday might not have looked like that, except for a couple plays. I mean, the AJ drop that would have been a touchdown. It
It
was
was a
quite
few
a we
plays.
left some meat on the bone on Sunday,
Good.
right?
So
It didn't
so
have to be as close as it was, but it
correct.
was.
Correct. Like, I mean, I'm happy you did bring it up because I was going to definitely bring that up. AJ, Jalen passed for like 120, 27 yards or something like that. He was what 16 for 20, 15 for 20. I'm sorry, and no touchdown, no passing touchdowns, but a rushing touchdown. The thing about it is he had two passes that were dropped. He had a deep pass to AJ. He had another pass to Devontae, which was called a penalty, which is, I mean, I get it. The penalty trumps that. I get that. Then we had a screen to our tight end that was negated by a illegal man downfield. If you put those yarders in it, Jalen has close to 300 yards passing, and this is what everybody been waiting for a quarterback to throw over 300 yards. But I got to bring this up really, really quickly. The
All right.
Denver Broncos of 1998, 1997, right when they had Terrell Davis was dominating, right?
Hmm.
The Denver Broncos relied. They were a running team. They had an all pro quarterback in John Elway, who went to the Super Bowl how many times prior to? I think it was 4 times prior to or 3 times prior to, and did not do anything being a gunslinger. Matthew Stafford threw for 300 yards. You didn't know he threw for 300 yards. He threw for 300 some odd yards, but he still lost the game. We need somebody that needs to be efficient, that doesn't turn the ball over, which Jalen is doing at this present clip. And we need a team to be efficient, running the ball and passing the ball. And our defense is picking everything else up. I don't get this why we have to be a high flying offense. Our offense has been 16-3 playing the way they have been playing.
I didn't ask. I didn't. I don't
I'm
think
not,
I
I'm just
asked.
no, you
Okay,
didn't ask for
I
you
was.
didn't
I
ask
didn't
for it.
ask for anything
I'm just
different.
saying
I
that
just said a
the
more
thing about it
methodical
is
offense and we've done that this year. I'm
yes,
only
yes,
asking to
yes.
show me more of that on Sunday. That has been a formula for us winning
Mhm.
quite a few games this year. Is moving the ball methodically, holding the ball. Uh, you know, chewing up the clock, so to speak. That game against the Pittsburgh Steelers comes to mind. If I could have a replication of that on
That's
offense,
crazy. Yeah.
that would be the game that I would want to see. I would want to see the offense perform like it did against Pittsburgh that day.
Let's
That
spray
day,
his.
passing and and not anything crazy because we don't need Jalen to throw for 350 yards or anything like that.
Correct.
But that was a very balanced attack. Jalen had about 250, 280 yards, and then Saquon had his usual 100+ yards. But the biggest key in that was time of possession. And as you recall, in the fourth quarter of that game, my frat brother Tomlin decided to kick the ball off for 10 minutes left, expecting to get the ball back, and he never got it back.
In
We
10 minutes,
took the ball and we put together a 10-minute drive. That is what I'm talking about when I say I like to see our offense be more methodical and matriculate the ball down the field. Be deliberate. Just next first downs. Let's just eat up first downs. Let's just get first downs. That's all we got to do. Keep getting first downs. Eventually we'll be in the end zone. Let me go to some comments out there because people are talking. I don't want to go to we right now. We right now first says the NFL is choreographed for game results and has nothing to do with competition, just like watching wrestling with Hulk Hogan. Wow. That's I don't want to say that right now. We're doing okay, so I'm not going to go there. But he does follow it up by saying, "Don't overlook what I'm saying. Take care. By all means, hold your money from gambling Eagles to win it all." Oh, you think that is even choreographed? All right, I'm not ready to go there yet. All right, John Batiste says that false start on Lane Johnson as well. Yeah, that was the key. Yeah, that was hard. That was that was another touchdown. We took points off the board. And he said, I saw Shannon Sharp talking about this, Pat. And Eddie comes in. Eddie says, because the media needs their narrative to prove their style of football works.
The media doesn't play football, Dark Knight. The media is media for a reason. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, WIP, I'm talking about WIP guys, John Ritchie, they played the game. So they have a more familiar heartbeat to what it is to do to go out there and win. But at the same token, they're not in the game right now. So therefore, they're media. What worked yesteryear was always running the ball in defense. And yesteryear is working this year, right? The Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year because of their defense, not because of their offense throwing up amazing numbers, because of their defense. And that's what's going to win it, defense.
Oh yeah, I like this comment right here because I'm glad you said this because I would have forgot. And Chris Sims, John Batiste makes mention of the knucklehead Chris Sims, and I thought he was coming around to starting to make some sense.
He's a hater.
But no, he's going back to being the idiot that he is. And he made a comment, and well, let me read John Batiste's comment first. He says, and Chris Sims needs to shut the F up. He pulled a Micah Parsons talking about the Rams dominated us if you take away 5 or 6 big plays. Man, shut your ass up. That's what John Batiste says. And in actuality, he did. He made the point of saying that if it wasn't for 5 or 6 big plays that we made, the Rams dominated the majority of the plays. That is so stupid. That is
it's idiotic.
So stupid. What do you mean you took away 6 of those? That's what we do. That's what you go out there to do is to make big plays. You can't take them out of the game, you dodo. What are you talking about? That's what great players do, and we have them on our team.
Yes,
so
sir.
You're saying like, all right, if the great players don't make the big plays, they don't win it. Duh. You're right. If the great players don't make big plays, the teams that win will not win. But that is what they get paid to do. It's just idiotic.
It's
take
idiotic.
Away those 6. Man, come on.
That's football. That's football. That's football in a nutshell. Football in a nutshell is nothing but a certain amount of plays that wins you a game. Right? It's a certain amount of plays that win you the game. And I hate to keep bringing this up, but you go back to the 2022 Super Bowl run that we made. Right? A certain amount of those plays. If you take those plays over, we win the game, right? So the game has certain amount of plays. You're going to have 5 or 6 plays. They say, oh, if it was snowing, the Rams would dominate. The Rams didn't dominate in the turf. Saquon had damn near 400-yard total offense against the Rams this year. He had 4 touchdowns against the Rams this year. He's the only player to have 4 60-plus runs against one team in a calendar year, in a year. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to say 5 or 6 plays. No, this team bust their ass, and because of the snow, they made it close.
All right, let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, welcome. You guys are watching or listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that is by us fans, for us fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. It's time to take a shot. It's shot o'clock. All right, so everybody grab your drink of choice.
Wait a minute, Dark Knight.
Okay.
If you got water, you can't do it. Remember we said can't toast water.
No. Yeah, I don't take a shot of water. I just sip my water. But I don't take a shot of water. You don't take a shot of water. I got it. All right. So Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. You guys out there, let me know what you're doing. Some people rain vodka. I saw somebody say rain vodka. I forget. Someone else out there mentioned what they were partaking in. Whatever you do, just make sure you do it responsibly. That's all. Make sure you do it responsibly. So here we go. To our Philadelphia Eagles and their second appearance in the NFC Championship game in 3 years. Here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right. So good news is that Quinyon Mitchell is reportedly going to be okay for Sunday's game. I am so happy to hear that. He's also been named one of the finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year, along with his secondary mate, Cooper DeJean, whose name is a finalist for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I am so happy that these young men are on our team. It has vaulted our passing defense from it was dismal. I think it was 20s and the 20-somethings last year.
Yep, to the best.
And now we're the best because of those two young men, along with the others. Darius Slay had an excellent game on Sunday as well. The wiry veteran came through in the clutch, and he had a great game, man. And we just need them to do that again against JD5 and Scary Terry and them. So I feel a lot more comfortable to have Quinyon in there to cover Scary Terry, and I just have a lot of confidence in our defense. If they continue to play the way they do. One thing that I felt good about, although the game was close and I was watching the replay and all that, one thing that brings me calm most of the time is when I look up and the other team doesn't have a lot of points.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't panic even after, like, because we scored and then we kicked off, they scored, right? So it was touchdown for touchdown, right? And but I have no panic there, right? Even though that's the Rams and they can be very explosive and stuff like that, my comfort level with the defense is just such that I just trust that they're going to do the right thing. So they put up a touchdown after we scored. But you go into the third quarter, late into the third quarter, and all they have are 13 points. That's what you want from your defense. You know what I mean? Like, that's an explosive offense. And in the third quarter, you know, we're holding them. They still have only 13 points. They only ended up with 22. That's a win for us. You know, if we can hold explosive quarterbacks and offenses to those type of numbers, we're on the right side of the ledger, so to speak. So I have a lot of confidence in Vic Fangio and this defense that he has assembled here that we haven't seen in a long time. We haven't seen a defense like this in a long time. Forget the 22 team, you know, with the third most sacks in history. No, we all know what that. Yeah, that was Hassan. Yeah, that was Hassan. And we all, even though they were the third-ranked defense that year, and they put up the third most sacks in the history of the game, they didn't pass the eye test to us true Philadelphia Eagles fans, right? Even at 17, That was a pretty good defense. We won the Super Bowl and all, but in the game, the Super Bowl itself, we gave up like 1,000 yards, but
500 passing yards.
500 passing yards. But this defense is reminiscent of the Jim Johnson defenses, the Bud Carson defenses. I mean, this defense physical and they get at it, and that's what I love. Physical defense that gets at it. Sure tackling unit out there. I
Mhm.
do hate when they go into the prevent. I just hope we don't get to that. It doesn't come to that point where we're playing that prevent defense because the only thing we do is let the people drive down the field on that. It was just it was thank God for Jalen Carter and his two magnificent plays at the end of the game because
Yeah.
the sack before that, people don't pay attention to that. The fourth down, he rushed Stafford. That's why
Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew it
that
wasn't
was
a
the pressure.
complete pass. He put pressure on Stafford, and that was the key cause of that fourth down pass falling incomplete. So I love this defense, man. And if you're not mentioning that when you talk about this year's team, then I don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, you're 100% right because Jalen Carter had 5 tackles, 5 pressures, 3 QP hits, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass defense.
And a
That's a
pass defense,
that's
yo.
a
That's a
full that's a full like all right. So don't get me wrong. The Rams they have some very special young guys. Brayton Fisk, who's actually up for the defensive player rookie of the year too, with Jared Verse. There are 2 young guys that they got in the draft this year that they are dynamic. They both had Fisk had a sack, then he injured his knee. But Jared Verse is as advertised. He's going to be a very dynamic player for the Rams. But they are undersized. They are undersized, and it's not a thing like they're in the middle of the defense causing this havoc like a Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter got uh uh he got double teamed. I think it was like 78% of the snaps. 78% of the snaps that he was in this, he got double teamed. That's outrageous, Dark Knight.
yeah, yeah,
But I gotta give a big shout out to Nolan Smith. Both Nolan Smith has come along and he has been a force. He forced a fumble.
yeah,
And I know Elijah Rogers got in there. He got cooked a couple times. He got to make those pass breakups or interception. But he was giant on the spot to pick that ball up. And I'm still mad that he got a lineman that beat him downfield. But it's all good.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's some things to say about this particular game that we just witnessed. We went against a dynamic offense. Karan Williams, their running back, he had over 100 yards against us, and that's like the first time a rusher had over 100 yards against us for a while, right? But he had over 100 yards, but he had a fumble. Uh, Matthew Stafford, he threw for 300 yards, but he had a fumble.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I saw a statement here about a comment somebody put out the turnover game. If we don't turn the ball over, you can win the game. You put yourself in a better situation to win the game. Right now, these 4 teams vying for these conference championships have turned the ball over a total of 0 times leading up to these 2 games. And that's how you can tell a successful team, regardless of the passing stats or the rushing stats or the sacks, anything like that. If you don't turn the ball over and you turn the other team over, your probability of winning is increased. And that's what we're doing on defense. And that's why we're reminiscing to the Bud Carson, uh, those particular type of defenses that then allow things because they're getting the ball back for the offense to put points on the board.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, I saw something very interesting. Emmanuel Acho
Mm,
spoke, and I thought this was so appropriate. He spoke about Jalen Hurts, and he said that we have to change how we're evaluating Jalen Hurts' game,
hmm
right? Because we are evaluating his game on passing yards and touchdowns, right? Where we should be evaluating, and he doesn't even evaluate his game on that. He
Absolutely not.
evaluates his game on winning.
hmm
You know what I mean? So if we change the metrics of how we evaluate his success, he is very successful. Forget
Extremely.
how it looks. Forget the 4 or 5,000 yards a year, 30, 40 touchdowns a year. If we judge him on his winning percentage, he is very successful. He has been very successful, and he continues to be very successful. We need to change what we're evaluating Jalen Hurts on.
He has a
Everybody
winning
wants to
record.
look at, yeah, everybody wants to look at. He only threw for 127 yards. He only did this. Number one, he's not turning the ball over. Right, that's a formula to win. And number two, his winning percentage since he's been a starter is phenomenal.
It's like
I don't know the number off
76%.
It's like 76%. He's winning 76% of his games. And of all the quarterbacks that you guys would probably trade him for in a heartbeat, there's only a few, maybe just one, Patrick Mahomes, that's won more than him. Josh Allen's never been to a Super Bowl.
So his winning
Lamar,
percentage.
Lamar Jackson has never been to a
Mhm.
Super Bowl. These guys don't have the winning percentage he has, never been to a Super Bowl. I think I'll keep my guy, and I'll evaluate him on those metrics of winning, not turning the ball over. And if he
Exactly.
does that this week,
Mhm.
I think we have an excellent chance to win the game and to go to his second Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's as a starter since he was implemented as a starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. His winning percentage is 73, 0.733. I mean, you should take that from anybody else, period. But I want to throw something out there before you go to the comments, right? And I
Right.
talked about comparing him to everybody want to compare him to Josh Allen, to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is not throwing for 300 yards a game. He's being efficient. He's not turning the ball over. He's handing the ball off, and he does defense win the games. But I want to compare Jalen Hurts to a later year John Elway. When John Elway had a 2,000-yard rusher in Terrell Davis, right?
Mhm.
John Elway had 2,866 yards passing. Jalen Hurts has 2,900. John Elway had 93 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts almost have 700. Total touchdowns, John Elway had 23. Jalen Hurts has 32. Like they both had 2,000-yard runners, so they were more or less complacent on making this offense a run team, and they had these guys on the outside. If you stop the run, they can get the ball to Ed McCaffrey, what's his name, Keenan McCardell. Shannon Sharp. These are the weapons they had at that time, and what we're doing right now is replicating that formula that
Mhm.
these teams cannot stop. We're running trap plays. Third night, we're running. Not only are we running trap plays, we're running double trap plays. We're
Look,
running double trap plays. Like this is crazy.
I asked for this,
Uh-huh.
and well, sometimes they say you have to be careful what you ask for, but I'm actually happy that I'm getting what I asked for. But I was like, where are the days where, I hate to use this team as an example, but the Cow Turds in the '90s, the Redskins in the '90s, when they had dominating run games, right?
Hmm.
And everyone and their mom knew that they were going to run the ball, and they still ran the ball
Yep.
because that was their strength. They didn't try to get cute. They had out, the hogs. They had big offensive line, and they ran the ball, and you knew they were going to run the ball, and you couldn't stop it. They dared you to stop it, and you couldn't stop it. That's what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
That is what we are doing.
Dante, you remember when Terrell Davis came in C had a migraine in the Super Bowl? The medicine didn't kick in yet. Like when you have that dynamic guy in the backfield, like we have Saquon Barkley, even if he's not effective, he's effective because now all 11 guys are fixated on this one individual that can anytime part of this field can break it for a touchdown run.
Yep, and you've got to pay attention to that. You've got to uh, devote resources to trying to stop that because, like you said, Pat, at any time he can break it. at any time, and that just opens it up. And this is what I want to see this week. I want to see Kellen Moore take advantage of that. Because we know what's going to happen. We know they're going to stack the box. We know that they know that Jalen's not 100%. So I foresee, this is me, I foresee that they're going to stack the box and they're going to try to make Jalen beat them. I say let's come out and take the fight to them. Let's open up like we opened up against Pittsburgh, and let's just move the ball down the field. Let's short slants, intermediate routes. I did look at the all 22 also, and Kellen, you're killing me with these long developing routes. And can I get some variety on the levels of the routes that the guys are running? We can't have 4 receivers all running routes and they are on the same level. Let's have somebody in the B level, somebody in the A level, somebody in the C level, but let's not have 4 people all in the B level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's difficult when you have these weapons to really say, you know what, we all running these levels concept, because what you just explained is levels concept. When you have different levels running different routes, you run a deep crosser, a short crosser, then you run a zigzag across the nose of the center. Those are different concepts that you can run. And yes, we need to see more of that. We definitely need to see more of that, especially in this game, because the I'm about to call them the red, the commies, the Commodores. They don't have a good run defense. They don't have a good run defense. We can take advantage of that, but we also can take advantage of that in the air, with the play action, the stuff right over the middle of the field, right off the play action, moving those linebackers. You can't just fake a handoff and you haven't established a run and think that the linebacker is going to fill that gap, because just like when Pickett, we know he's not going to run the ball, so he's going to fake hand it off and he try to hit the slant and throw it interception right to Luvo. So you can't do that. You got to establish the run game, be more consistent in what you're doing, and have more creative mindset when it comes to our offense.
Yeah, we gotta do all that. What Pat said. We gotta do that. All right, but we're going to end this quarter right now, guys. Thank you, guys.
And that's the end of the quarter.
Thank you guys for doing this, man. We're just previewing what we want to see go down on Sunday. Talking a little bit about the Rams and what happened this past Sunday. And I didn't see the game, so I saw it last night, but so I understand now why everyone was having heart attacks. And I was watching the replay. I knew the outcome of the game, and I damn near had 3 heart attacks. So I can see what was going on Sunday, man. But you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. It's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans, and here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So Pat is holding it down for the culture. He's doing the Woodford Reserve. Let me know what you're doing, and let's put this out here now, like, before we even get to Sunday, and I'll bring it up again on Sunday. But whatever, juju, routine, whatever you use this entire year and in these playoffs that brought our team to a successful 16-3 record thus far, make sure you keep that routine as we go into the NFC Championship.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. This is not the time to break out the new jersey. This is not the time to break out the new paraphernalia. We got to keep it. As you can tell, I'm one of those superstitious fans, right? We got to keep the main thing, as Jalen would say. So keep the main thing. Keep your routine tight. Everybody, if you got up on the left side of the bed, make sure you get up on the left side of the bed. All right. So here we go. All right. To our Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right. So I got a couple people that said, we're going to be at Miller's Ale House doing the show live, the pregame show and the postgame show. And if anybody's been up there, you guys understand, or if anybody has been anywhere we have done live shows, you will understand how riled up, we get the crowd. So if you are in the area, make sure you come by Miller's Ale House in Springfield, PA on Baltimore Pike. We will be there. JT said he's coming up. Reef is in the chat room. Reef said he'll be there. And anybody else who's in the tri-state area, come up, watch the game with us, man. We have a lot of fun. It's a party. You know, Pat's a DJ and it's part time, right? So you know he has all the jumping tunes going on in between breaks and stuff like that. And we always sing. We always sing. And I hope that this is, I call it fight song practice. I hope this is a fight song practice type of game, meaning that we get a lot of opportunities to practice singing the fight song.
Yes.
Because I want everybody, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the type of game I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to have choir practice on Sunday, where we're singing the fight song every damn 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. And then please and come down, right? And we'll get you right. Hopefully the team will help you get you right with the fight song. Because I see people and they muff the fight song. Oh, that kills me when you muff the fight song, man. Come on. So come on out with us. We'll have fight song practice and the such, man. And hopefully we'll have a really good time. I recall 2017 was probably the most fun I've ever had at a live event, and that was the NFC Championship game against the Vikings. And we were live at Miller's Ale House that day, and it was such a wonderful time. Like I said, the most fun I've ever had at a live appearance was that NFC Championship game in 2017. You know, after Patrick Robinson intercepted that ball and took it in for a touchdown, after that, it was just a party. After that,
it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. It definitely was a great time. That whole year from the beginning, being at the stadium with the PTG group that was out there, that then finding locations, coming to Miller's Ale House, having a great, awesome time there. Then Super Bowl Sunday was a venture. You know that.
Yeah. Oh man, that was.
But you know what? I if we could do it again, I would do it 100 times out of 100 times again.
Yeah, that was.
It was a great time.
Everybody has their memories of us winning our first Super Bowl. And we do too, and it was special because it was only our second year on the air, right?
Yeah,
only our second year doing Eagles Talk, and our team wins the Super Bowl. We did at least 5 live appearances at tailgates in the parking lot.
It got cold in it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that Atlanta game. Oh, we had the tent. We even had a tent, and it still was freezing out there.
That tent is gone.
Yeah, that tent is gone. Oh my goodness. Oh, so we had a great time. So yeah, if you're in the area, make sure you come down. Dion has got a smart ass mouth. Y'all should start the show late again Sunday to keep our routine. Shut up, man. I had an emergency. I was in Harrisburg. My damn wheel almost fell off the car. Man. If you don't believe in a higher power, I'm telling you that one does exist. My whole wheel almost fell off the car with my family in the car. So I'm just happy to be here today. Jack says that's exactly the Commanders' plan, DK. They want to make Jalen pass the ball, but trust me, give the ball to Saquon, and it's a done deal. I say mix it up. If they want Jalen to pass and they're going to give his weapons one-on-one coverage, then that's a formula to take advantage of too. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to load the box 8 and you're going to give single coverage to Devontae, Goddard, or AJ, that's a matchup we'll take.
I agree with that to a sense. Then I went back and looking at the tape against the Rams. And the Rams loaded the box. They had 9 minutes. We still scored a 70-something, 80-yard touchdown against them. So, I mean, yes, it works to a sense. But the way this offensive line is blocking, the way these guys are blocking for this running back. And the thing about it is, he's not just a regular running back. Gainwell is good in mop-up duties. He's an outstanding second running back. But Saquon is special. Something super special about running backs.
When did you find that out, Pat?
What?
that Saquon was special.
Well, I
What,
found
who
about
let you know?
I think it was 2017 when he was still in college. No, he's out of college. I think it was 2015. You know, when he was play USC and he no, come on, man.
I know.
But
Yeah,
we have a very special running back. Thank you to the New York Football Giants. We appreciate you. We love you for that. I feel bad for you, where I really don't, but thank you. But I think we should be okay running the ball, even if they have an 8-man front.
yeah, I think so too. And our boys are just they're big. So we definitely want to see them lean on these guys, man,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, that's where we make our money, right? That's our bread and butter. These offensive and defensive lines that we have set the tone for the game. This is where
Correct.
we beat you up. This is the heavyweight fight that goes on. This is the fight within the fight. As our offensive line beating on your defensive line and our defensive line beating on your offensive line. That's where the magic happens, so to speak. So
Our
um,
bigs
I
destroying
think
your
we
littles.
outmanned them along the lines, and I think we are just more talented. But none of that means anything if we don't go out and do and perform the way that we're capable of performing. And I'm not asking the team to do anything that we're not used to doing. I'm just asking them to do more of the same of which they were doing all year long. Just do more of what you've been doing all year long, but do it a little bit better, so we don't have to bite our nails like we did this this
Do it
past
early.
Sunday.
Do
Let's
it
do it
early so we can
a
sit back and
little
just
bit better,
drink.
man.
So we can sit back and drink. I know Dark Knight's not going to start drinking.
Yeah, right.
Um, but
And
but
we're not watching it on the monitor. Don't You can bring the monitor, but we're not putting the game on there. No,
I can't
I'm
do that, Dark
vetoing
Knight.
that.
It
No, we're
works.
not.
We have been doing
No,
it
it
since
does
the
not work.
last time we was there.
We're not watching the game on that. No, no, uh.
I
We
got you,
did that
Dark
during
Knight.
the Super Bowl too, and we didn't win.
Well, what we did is during the NFC
uh-uh.
Championships and we won. So I have to I would do it again. I would do it during the Super Bowl.
I don't like that because people and JT they be looking up at. I don't watch it.
They
Y'all
be
can
looking for
do it. I don't
reaction.
watch it. I
They
go.
be looking
Yeah,
for the
I go
reaction.
watch it with the crowd. I go watch it with the people.
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
be
what
because our monitor is ahead of
the
the
TV?
TVs at the place. So while they're watching it on the monitor, JT is looking at us, looking at our facial reaction to see how the play turns out. Like, no, I just watch it with the crowd.
Oh man, is it
That's the wrong.
18 Baltimore Pike? I thought it was
Yeah.
1119 West Baltimore Pike Media.
I don't think so.
Well,
Hold up. Well, that's what I got on the darn thing. Let me get that right. All right, let me get this address right. I'm sorry. Uh,
yeah, Baltimore Pike, right? I
yeah,
swear it's
it is
Baltimore Pike.
Baltimore Pike. There's two. I think there might be two on Baltimore Pike. So let's just make sure that we got the right one because I just put a promo out on social media. So, um,
Well, why you make sure we get the right one up there? I do want to talk about the I do want to talk about the Washington commies, a little bit because this to let you know today. Um, we got some good news. We still got some bad news. Cam Jurgens, Dallas Goddard did not practice, and Fred Johnson did not practice today. But full
oh yeah,
participants, full participants today was Jalen Hurts and Quinton Mitchell, or Quinton Bay. They were full participants in practice. They will be a full go come Sunday, and we need that. I love Isaiah Rodgers, and I know he may be the future because Darius Slay may retire after this year, and he may have to take that other side. But right now, having Q out there and Darius Slay, we have a very formidable foe against this pass happy team. They don't run the ball. They don't run the ball efficiently. Their running back, their leading rusher is their quarterback. So we have to be uh, rush integrity. We have to, just like we did when we played Michael Vick some years ago, right?
mm,
We can't just try to get after the quarterback at every single down because right now he's the one that burned us. They go for fourth downs at least 70% of the time in the playoffs right now, and they're getting it at a very high clip. When we played them in what's that, week 16, I think, week 14, whatever week it was, it was a fourth down in forever, and he got the first down by his feet. So we have to be a controlled rush, more like a muddle rush. Our defensive ends got to understand that if they get past the quarterback may be gone. Our
Mhm.
linebackers, if Vic Fangio is watching this, Vic, listen, Zach Bond is an all pro. All right. Oren Burks is a good feeling. Jeremiah Trotter is a good feeling. But you need something with speed, something that's going to hit somebody. I would bring in uh Sidney Brown to play him opposite. I know it's going to be a little smaller front, defensive line front, but that's speed along your linebackers. He hits, he tackles, and he can make plays in a position, or especially on third down where you need it. So you bring in that extra defensive back on third downs and have them mirror that quarterback, because we cannot let Jaden Daniels run loose against us this Sunday.
I agree. But I feel good about Vic, man. Vic's been doing an excellent job. His philosophy is not giving up the big plays. Sometimes he allows too much of the shorter intermediate routes to be open, and if
Hmm.
teams are patient, that's where they can have some success. If you're looking to get big chunks of yards, that's not the formula to beat our defense. We don't give up big chunks of yards.
Hmm.
But if you are patient and you take what underneath underneath stuff you can get, you may have a chance. But we have such great corners, and they're very sticky, as somebody said in the chat room. Very sticky that it even makes that hard at times. So I love what Vic is doing with the defense, and I just can't wait to see them show improve on Sunday, because they have a chip on their shoulder from the last game when we played the Commanders. They don't have a good taste in their mouth. That was an off game for them. And that was a game that was actually snatched out of our hands. We should have won that game, even without Jalen Hurts. We had like 5 turnovers. We were up. It was a game we should have won, and the defense, uncharacteristically, was not on top of their game. That was one of the games that they didn't perform to the level that they have been playing at. I'm
Yeah,
talking about, you know,
our
from the bye until that point. From the
yeah.
from the bye to that point,
Mhm.
defense had been markedly improved, and that one hiccup of a game, they didn't look like themselves.
Yeah, so it was the hurry up offense. That hurry up offense, and we saw a little bit of that at the end of the game against the Rams. They got our defensive line tired and not able to rush the quarterback because they couldn't switch the guys out. That's why I say you can't go all out. You got to have a muddle rush because if our backside of our field defensive backs can cover the middle of the field, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams. Those guys can get after the quarterback and get some sacks. Will be another 5 turnover game by the Washington Commanders? Probably not. Will it be a turnover game? Turnover that can change the game? Absolutely. Will it be a field goal by Jake Elliott? Listen, I said last week Jake Elliott's going to be crucial to our win. Even though he missed the extra points, 2 extra points to be exact, those field goals he made were crucial to our win, and he's going to have to come up big again this week.
Yeah, and I think that they will, man. I just have a good feeling. I just can't wait until Sunday. I just can't wait until Sunday, man. And let me go to some comments, because you guys are having good conversation out there, some good things. Sean GT says doing something is not the answer. Everyone has to be disciplined, rush their
Yes.
lanes, and don't over pursue. Exactly. I definitely agree with that. Um, John Batiste says the offense couldn't sustain any momentum and kept the defense on the field. Yes, and that was a
They
direct
had
result of Jalen going out and
mhm,
having to be replaced with Pickett, and Pickett not being a threat to
mobile.
run. So the RPOs were null and void, and they just crashed down on Saquon. So there was
That
no
was
time
ugly.
to scheme, and it was ugly.
Yeah.
So, I saw, you could see the formula they used to win that day, but I don't foresee that happening again on Sunday. Eagles fan says, "Oh my God, I can't wait for the Eagles to win and hear the Redskins and Eagles haters to make excuses." Yeah, Myron, that's our slogan. Go Birds, let's hunt.
That's
I love that. Um, it's a lot of them Jones. Don't send me to the wrong one if I can finally stop by. It is I took Pat's down because Pat's was wrong.
okay.
It was the one that I put up that's under the Um, Eagles Talk label, and it's 18 West Baltimore Pike. So 18 West Baltimore Pike, and you should make it there, Dion. It'd be great to see you. Batiste says, "Hey Pat, who was that we signed today to the reserve
It
futures
was this
contract?"
week. We signed some guys. We signed 2 tight ends, tight end Nick Moose, and offensive lineman Cameron Irving, who is an older guy. He's 32. He's been he's actually was a first round draft pick. Then we signed tight end Cameron Lutu to a futures contract. I think we're gearing up to have these tight ends compete next year, but that's next year. We're not worried about that right now. And
All right.
those 2 guys we signed, Nick and Cameron, they went straight to the practice squad.
All right. And yeah, JT to my point says, "Hell no, Pat. Your poker face sucks."
I'm about to go play poker right now, maybe. No.
All right, well, we can get out of here. So I don't like to go over an hour. So, hey, you guys, make sure you come out if you're in the area. Come out and let's watch this game live. Let's all put our energy together and watch this game live and have a heck of a time. Drink a couple brews, get some wings. They got good food at Miller's too. I do. I do like their food. Pat, that one time you got that steak, was that time you got that steak that
It might
time?
have been. Yeah, it might
Oh
have
my
been.
goodness, that looks so good. All right, but yeah, join us if you can. Miller's Ale House, 18 West Baltimore Pike, in Springfield, PA, on Sunday. Pregame show will start at 2 o'clock, and the game kickoff is 3 o'clock. Anything else?
There we go. I'll put it at the top of the screen for you.
All right, Hill, you put that at the
Not
top of
that.
the screen.
Not that.
All right,
I got the wrong.
okay.
I got the wrong date on there.
Oh, here we go. All right, Pat, stop trying to put.
I got you. I got you. I got you, Dark Knight. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right there.
All right, look, man, we getting out of here. You guys enjoy the few days that we have. Get yourselves ready. Take your blood pressure medicine. Do some cardio. Get your heart rate up and all that. And let's come back and reconvene on Sunday when our Philadelphia Eagles take on the Washington Commanders. I'm your man, Dark Knight, for Pat and Nichelle in her absence. She'll be there too. Nichelle will be there. All right, you guys, we're out. We'll see you on Sunday.
Peace.
Peace.